Welcome to this explainer. We are jumping right into a really fascinating move in the pharmaceutical industry today. For years, GLENMARK has been the quintessential broad, high-volume player, right? They've heavily leaned into generic medications and respiratory treatments. But right now, they are initiating a dramatic corporate pivot. They're laying down a massive financial marker by venturing into literally one of the most fiercely competitive, high-value sectors in all of medicine. If you want to understand how a mid-cap pharma company attempts to trade sheer volume for high-stakes value, you are in exactly the right place.
Okay, let's dive into this. $600 million. I mean, wow. This isn't just some vague, decades-away projection tossed out to keep shareholders happy. It is a highly specific, staggering revenue goal. To put that into perspective, for a company of GLENMARK'S size, generating a windfall of that magnitude from a single new therapeutic area, that represents a massive percentage of their future growth pipeline. It tells the market, plain and simple, that they aren't just looking for incremental margin improvements. No, they are attempting a complete, ground-up transformation of their balance sheet. But where exactly is all that capital supposed to come from?
Section 1, the $600 million goal.
Section 2, focus on oncology launches.
So, why oncology? Well, for an established pharma player, transitioning heavily in the cancer treatments is rarely just about expanding a medical portfolio. It's actually about fundamentally changing the entire business model. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how oncology offers significantly higher profit margins compared to standard generics. It's a space practically defined by fast-track regulatory approvals for breakthrough therapies, incredibly strong pricing power, and of course, an urgent, constant market demand. GLENMARK is basically shifting away from a volume-based game and diving headfirst into a highly specialized market where a single successful launch can act as a massive corporate growth engine.
Let's look at the contrast here. Historically, GLENMARK relied on a broad pharmaceutical pipeline. That meant producing a wide variety of medications across multiple health categories. Think dermatology and respiratory care. Now, sure, that provides diverse revenue streams, but your R&D resources get spread incredibly thin. It leaves the company completely exposed to the relentless pricing pressure of the generics market, which is basically a race to the bottom. Highly targeted oncology launches represent the exact opposite approach. Instead of trying to be everything to everyone, they are hyper-focusing their capital on specialized complex treatments. It's a highly concentrated effort to capture high-margin revenue and finally escape that generic pricing trap.
Section 3, the 5-year timeline.
Let's move to and see how this builds, because a strategy this aggressive absolutely lives and dies by its timeline. GLENMARK has given themselves a really tight 5-year window here. In year 1, the immediate hurdle is navigating those incredibly complex regulatory approvals and initiating the first crucial oncology launches. This isn't just about manufacturing a drug, it's about proving safety and efficacy in a highly scrutinized environment. Then by year 3, the operational reality shifts entirely to scaling. This means rapidly building out specialized sales forces, securing vital hospital partnerships, and getting these treatments onto clinical formularies. Finally, by year 5, the whole shebang, the culmination of R&D, regulatory clearance, and aggressive market penetration has to hit that peak $600 million mark.
To actually pull this off without a hitch, GLENMARK has to flawlessly execute 3 core operational steps. First up, successfully introduce these complex oncology treatments without any regulatory delays. Second, they have to capture critical market share. And honestly, this is the hardest part, because they are going up against entrenched big pharma competitors, giants like Roche or Novartis, who already dominate the oncology wards. GLENMARK's competitive edge is going to have to rely heavily on strategic pricing and targeting underserved niches, or maybe specific solid tumors where the big players just haven't fully cornered the market yet. And third, they absolutely must convert that hard-won market share into realized cash flow. If R&D stalls out or if they failed to secure those hospital contracts, this entire 5-year projection basically crumbles.
Section 4, the market impact.
So, the crucial point is that this strategy perfectly encapsulates a much larger shift we are seeing across the entire mid-cap pharma sector. Companies are waking up and realizing they can't simply rely on the old model of churning out low-margin therapeutics anymore. This is a high-stakes strategy that directly links advancements in cancer treatment to massive corporate growth. GLENMARK is essentially using oncology to punch way above its weight class. By aligning their financial future with severe medical needs, they are betting that high-value innovation will permanently elevate their valuation and relevance in the broader market. It's a bold move, for sure.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what is at stake here and the sheer enormity of the execution risk involved. To hit this milestone, GLENMARK pretty much has to be perfect across the board. The target? An audacious $600 million. The driver? A hyper-focused suite of new oncology launches. The timeline? An unforgiving 5-year window. And the company carrying all this execution risk is, of course, GLENMARK. There is absolutely no ambiguity here. The goal, the method, and the deadline are firmly locked in.
Which leaves us with this final, lingering thought. We know the strategy, we clearly see the deliberate shift from broad generics to high-value treatments, and we know that 5-year clock is already ticking. So the big question is, will oncology permanently redefine GLENMARK's future? Only time will tell if the $600 million gamble actually pays off, but one thing is absolutely certain. Their execution over the next 5 years will be incredibly critical to watch. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll catch you next time.